repetition is sort of almost the mother of all learning, really. This is the first, the second line finishing. So there's the second repeat of the chorus. Hello my friends, I'm Tate and today we'll be doing another extraction session. For this session we're going to be dissecting the track Relentless by Advents, super sick track, and for this one focusing on extracting the pre-chorus / bridge and chorus at the end and climax of the song. And I'll play from the verse before it for some initial context of where it fits in for you if you haven't heard of this track or band before. So let's give it a go. Fuck all these bullshit excuses, sideways swallow me whole. I've been down, I've been stressed, I've been losing my soul. Mistakes were made from the past, I couldn't get away from. You pulled the bed, I'm like burning so red. Moving on from the ashes with the mistakes that we have made. The broken dreams that we won't trade. Mistakes we can't change. The promises that we break. Alright, so super sick track, as I said, really cool track, absolute banger, and there's a lot to get into with this, so let's get into it. First and foremost, I'm going to rewind back to the sort of around the pre-chorus area, so let's go maybe around here I think it is, and we'll start digging into like a little bit of what's going on in the pre-chorus just to kind of help build things, create that anticipation, create some more tension. So let's try and find where the pre-chorus kicks in. Alright, so it's about here. Okay, so the first thing I'll say, which is sort of becoming a recurring theme really with pre-choruses building into choruses, is that there's a lot of tension being built. And this is to create sort of that bit of anticipation, some excitement of what's coming. And this track, as well as in the previous video, there's a lot of speed going on. There's increased speed, both the drums, the guitars, as well as how intense the vocals are starting to feel as well. And that's really starting to doing a fantastic job of creating that sort of tension that you sort of want when you're building into something. So I'll play it again in case you weren't quite catching that. But it's definitely a really, really well done pre-chorus in this track. And then obviously there's a little bit at the end that we'll go into as well, as far as what's going on transitioning into the chorus. Okay, so there you go. If you didn't get that the first time, that kind of gives you a bit better of an idea of how much speed is built, and you know, creating that sort of tension into what's actually coming is the sort of a bridge that's, no pun intended, bridging the gap between the pre-chorus and the chorus that's following the bridge. Now, one other thing to note with the transition into this bridge as well is that the final vocal line, the promises that we break, the word break is really emphasized on the downbeat as we go into the bridge. So keep an ear out for that if you've missed it up to this point. That's really doing a good job to transition nicely and just kind of create that extra little bit of kick, that extra little bit of impact into the bridge. That's sort of creating a nice seamless transition, really. So you're not really noticing it's just blending in with the track, fitting in flush. And so there we've got the bridge as well. It's a really exciting bridge. And the moment it's introduced, the track has a new flavor to it that you haven't really heard in the previous 2 minutes of the track. And you don't really hear in the rest of the track either. And that's kind of what the bridge is in there for, is to create that new flavor, a little bit more interest that you haven't heard, that just kind of pulls you along into the climax of the song a little bit more. So I'll play that once more, just so that we can get a bit better of idea of it, and we'll start digging into a little bit more of what's going on too. So you've also got the rhythm of the guitars and the drums, as well as the flow and the groove. So all these things, the rhythm, the flow, all these things are sort of taking a bit of a step down. Now, it's not entirely, it's not enough to basically sacrifice the energy and the excitement of the song, but it's just taken down a little bit more to create a bit more of that release feeling that the pre-chorus is building, in terms of the tension that it creates. So when the bridge comes in, everything's taken down a notch, especially in terms of the kick and the snare, how fast they're playing and sort of the pattern they're playing. So that really kind of helps to let things relax a little bit, create a bit more of a groove. And the other thing is that it's also the excitement and the energy is maintained by some background vocals that come in to support the scream vocals, which weren't sort of in the pre-chorus before it. So that, although the rhythm is sort of taking a step back a little bit, that's not allowing for any sort of sacrifice in the excitement and the energy of the bridge when it kicks in, because the backing vocals kind of come in to add a little bit more of like sort of an ambient background, high-end sheen almost, that just kind of makes everything soar a little bit more, and just as I said, brings a bit more excitement into it without sacrificing any excitement as a result of the rhythm stepping back. So play that once more just so you can get a better idea of it. So that's doing a really good job of just maintaining the excitement no matter what, because obviously there's a lot of dynamics in songs like these, like things are stopping, things are starting, and you want to maintain as much sort of consistency and excitement and energy as you can across the board, especially in building it and releasing it. So it's doing a really good job there. So let's now play the final chorus, so we can get a better idea of what's going on with this. Alright, so a fantastic chorus to really just allow the track to peak to its absolute highest. Now, there's a couple things going on in this last chorus as well. The first thing is, similar to how the pre-chorus transitions into the bridge, with the line, the promises that we break, with the break being on the downbeat, the chorus is kind of kicking in a similar way. So it's almost creating a seamless sort of one big structure, one big arrangement of the pre-chorus, bridge, and chorus to kind of flow together in terms of the way the bridge is taking over from the pre-chorus with the downbeat, then the chorus is also doing the same with the downbeat. So we'll play that again, and then we'll also just go into maybe a couple other things that are going on with this. So there's that downbeat again. And there's also the continuation of those clean background vocals to maintain that energy, that excitement. Now, one other thing to note with this chorus that just makes it that much more powerful is that the chorus lines, there's only about 2 chorus lines, but something that happens quite a lot in really professionally and well done made tracks is repetition. Repetition is sort of almost the mother of all learning, really. And to really help an audience and a listener to learn how the track goes and get them to learn to kind of sing along and immerse themselves in the track is to bring in repetition. So the chorus goes around the first time, and then the moment the end of that second line is sung, it goes around again. And that really just kind of hits on the element of impact a little bit more, keeps the excitement going just for that extra bit longer, just carries the track out nicely. So we'll go through that one more time. This is the second line finishing. So there's the second repeat of the chorus. And notice how everything just really comes up to the peak of the track at the very end of that second line in the second repeat of the chorus. Like it's just brought up to the max basically before it's all released, and you've got that sort of distant drum sound, distant drum beat going on with the almost sounds like strings of some sort. So that's really helping to just create a little bit more dynamic at the very end of the song as well. So this is a really well done track in terms of the arrangement, the production, the songwriting. So this, may give you some ideas if you're currently doing some songwriting, or, working on doing a bit of arrangement yourself, how you can create a similar level of impact, how you can basically just make sure that when you release your song, whoever listens to it comes back over and over and over because it's a good song, it's well thought out, it's been well done, and most importantly, you're impacting the listener in an intended way, in a well thought out way, and it's having the impact that you wanted it to have, which keeps them coming back. So I hope you found this valuable, got something out of it, found it helpful. We'll be continuing to do some more extraction sessions like this, so keep an eye out for further videos. Give the video a like, you know what to do with all that stuff, and I will see you soon.